What up, Dokkaners? Some of you guys might still be working on some of the content that is currently out right now. Some of you guys might be looking ahead. Some of you guys might not be doing any of those things. Regardless, thank you for clicking. Today, we're going to be talking about what could potentially be coming up for part 2. The reason why I feel like this is pertinent information right now is because of this event right here. You might have noticed I dropped a couple of videos, also did a live stream on the Broly Red Zone Stage 6 on the Pure Saiyans edition. This was a pain in the butt. Whether or not you've got the new units or not, this has actually been a very eye-opening experience, because trying to clear this with Hybrid Saiyans and Android Cell Saga has been really bothersome. Some of you guys might have already experienced this. Some of you might have won. Some of you might have given up. I've actually seen some people, have different takes on this whole experience. So this is why I wanted to talk about it, because sometimes Part 2s might have direct correlation to Part 1. Sometimes they have nothing to do with one another. But there are some instances where missions and current events can sometimes dictate what's going to be coming up next. And I think that this is a very telling preview as to what's going to be coming up. Because if you look at those two missions, we've got Android Cell Saga, we've got Hybrid Saiyans. Neither one of these categories are top tier in the sense of clearing this particular Broly mission. Both need help. Both need an element of RNG depending on who you are. Both need an element of strategy. It's not just a, lean your head down and just charge forward and just pierce through whatever obstacle is in your path. No, you have to lean forward and you got to try a little bit. So what could they do in part 2 that would then make these two missions more approachable, that would create demand for people to summon? Because that's ultimately the give and take when it comes to gacha games, right? Introduce the problem, aka content, then present the solution, which is the summon, right? If you're coming across an event that you're having difficulty getting through and you're like, oh man, if only I could make this easier, and then the shiny new toy is exactly what you need to clear it, all of a sudden you're a hero, because if you get that unit, you're off scot-free, and then the cycle repeats for the next celebration. So with these two obstacles now being introduced, and with some people struggling on this event, which I totally understand, what could they possibly do to release something to make this easier? Releasing an Android Cell Saga Hybrid Saiyans character. So let's talk about what we know. The part 2 LR for this upcoming holiday block is going to be a double rates. It's going to be a carnival. So I've got all these written down. Carnival, double rates, should return in May 2026. That's based on when this unit released, which was holiday 2024, and then returned on the Kale and Caulifla banner in 2025 in May. So based on that, I'm just going to do a one-to-one and assume that this guy will also come back at the same time. So should return in May. What does that mean? Well, it just means that you have an idea roughly for when the unit could return. Will this be a unit that if you miss, it'll hurt you on the 11th anniversary? There's always a possibility. I mean, there's always going to be risk of FOMO no matter what banner you skip, right? That's just how it is. At a certain point, you either just summon on them all because you're a whale, or you're going to have to make concessions. And this would probably be one of those. So May 2026, you can kind of chart that out and think, okay, so if I summon during the 11th anniversary, then maybe if this unit is good enough, I can save up for May, if that's the next one that you care about. Continuation of the part 1 theme, missions clue. So we already talked about that a little bit. So now that we've established Android Cell Saga and Hybrid Saiyans are some very viable options, what unit from the Android Cell Saga could contain both? And keep in mind, Carnival is an important detail when determining this, because a Carnival unit introduces reversible exchange. I was originally thinking that maybe a Yellow Coin LR could do it, but I guess it could be done, but it feels too premium for a Yellow Coin LR. So a potential reversible exchange. Also, by virtue of it being a reversible exchange, that also opens up the possibilities even more to what it could be. So let's now start listing out obvious candidates. Android Cell Saga Hybrid Saiyans. What do we got? Trunks, Gohan. Whoops. That's it. It's just those two. But then if you include reversible exchange, Goku, Gohan, Trunks, Vegeta, Trunks, Gohan. What other combinations were there? I don't know. Piccolo and Gohan? Z Fighters and Trunks. I mean, you can go all sorts of weird, wacky directions. Oh my gosh, you know what? Huge one. Trunks and Krillin. I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually really want this. I don't think it'll happen, because Krillin doesn't do any fighting during that. It's a Vegeta thing. Vegeta gets taken out and then Trunks goes haywire. But I would actually kind of dig this. And when it comes to reversible exchange, it's not just about introducing two characters into one unit, but it's also kind of integrating various elements of their individual animations, abilities, different traits, right? So they actually could do this, and we could unironically get our first like major summonable Krillin unit that is half Krillin, half Trunks. And it wouldn't even butcher the categories because it's a reversible exchange, not a joined forces character. So I actually kind of dig that. But this, I feel like, is probably it. I don't think there's anything else that could work here. Would they do, I mean, is it crazy to say maybe they do like a Gohan Cell? We've never had a reversible exchange where two characters who are directly opposing one another at that moment are part of a single unit. That would be kind of weird. Frieza and Goku from Tournament of Power were, yeah, they're enemies generally, but in that moment they had a joint goal, right, which is to survive. So I don't know, maybe that one's a little too much, but I feel like the Part 2 LR could be one of these. Trunks and Vegeta, there could be a couple of possibilities. One that I really want would be a Sparking Zero What If, and I believe it's Trunks and Vegeta doing the final flash or the Kame or the Gallic Gun. One of the two. This would actually be pretty cool because it would kind of be like an Android Cell Saga, I guess, corresponding unit to the future arc in Dragon Ball Super, where they do the father-son Gallic Gun. Also, it is a What If. We have other What If characters out there. Also, we have a What If character LR from the Android Cell Saga already, which is the Golden Week Part 2 LR from 3 years ago, right? Was that what it was? 3 years ago? 2022. Wow, nailed it. Yep, this one. This is a What If unit. Goku and Super Saiyan 2. Well, I mean, he's Super Saiyan Gohan here, but his active, is it active skill? I think it's the active skill where he goes Super Saiyan 2. This contains What If elements. So they've done it before, and obviously, you know, they're getting more liberal with what they do with characters, so that would actually be pretty neat. Another one would be Saving Throw. That's the name of the episode where Vegeta gets taken out after using the final flash, and then Trunks goes crazy. So that could be one. And then Hyperbolic Time Chamber. Hyperbolic Time Chamber Trunks and Vegeta would be pretty neat. We could get our first shot. Do we have this in the game yet as a support member? I don't think so. Where Vegeta's like eyes are out and he's like on fire. The firestorm in the deepest realms of the Hyperbolic Time Chamber is just coming from Vegeta's soul or something like that. I don't know what the whole thing was, but it was cool, right? That'd be kind of neat. Maybe they're just like Hyperbolic Time Chamber training buddies. Same goes for the Goku Gohan. You could do the same thing. You could do Hyperbolic Time Chamber. You could do full power post training, like during their day off. What else could they do? I mean, they could just do a direct sequel to Golden Week 2022 LR, where they just kind of bring that back and they do that again. Those are some pretty good ones. What else could we see? I mean, then just Trunks, any Trunks moment, any Gohan moment. Trunks and Gohan, obviously history of Trunks. I don't know what else they could. What if we get a What If? What if we do a Trunks, like the Gohan that we got for the future arc, the 200% Carnival lead? What if that Gohan reunites with like the modern day Z Trunks? So what if it's like a Z future Gohan meets Super Trunks? Is that crazy? I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little too ahead of myself with these What If stuff. This might be a little psychotic. Piccolo Gohan, father son, special beam cannon. Again, I'm going a little crazy with the What Ifs, but hey, we got a little bit of that during the future Gohan worldwide Carnival unit. Z Fighters and Trunks. This one probably not. The only reason why I said, wait, that takes me back to this. Trunks and Vegeta. Trunks dies. Vegeta mad, right? Z Fighters and Trunks, I was mainly thinking about the final showdown between Gohan and Piccolo. Or, I don't know what's wrong with me right now. I'm just saying all sorts of wrong stuff. During the final bout between Gohan and Cell, where all the Z Fighters are trying to help out in whatever way they can, Trunks is sort of out. But since we're able to kind of take some liberties, creative liberties with how they make these characters. Maybe they bring in some of the Z fighters and they do their thing while Trunks is kind of doing his thing from when he was Super Trunks. Super Trunks, what is it, grade 2, grade 3? Trunks and Krillin, I mean, that's part of the saving throw thing, I guess. So that just goes back to there. Yeah, it's got to be one of these. Like, I feel in my soul it's got to be one of these. It can't possibly not be one of those, because if it isn't, then they really just want you to do this without any other help except for the Trunks. So what that tells me, so let's just say, for argument's sake, Part 2 LR ends up not being any of these possibilities that I talked about, then that means that this AGL Trunks EZA is about to be a generational unit. That has to be what that means, because that whole burden of responsibility on making those missions easier rests solely upon this nerd's shoulders. And if they make him good enough, well, maybe this whole video is an entirely moot point. So it's like a cow's opinion, you know, it doesn't matter. So yeah, we'll see soon, and by soon I mean in like 2 weeks. So don't expect anything anytime soon, except for the details for the Trunks, which should be in, so he's dropping on the 8th at 9 p.m. It's currently the 4th, so we'll probably get the details in 2 days, because we got the 17-18 details 2 days before. So yeah, probably on the 6th. So maybe, yeah, day and a half to 2 days. Shouldn't be too long. And then we got World Tournament, and then, is that it? Oh, we got Super Battle Road. Super Battle Road, World Tournament, and Trunks' EZA. Please give us more. Also in this EZA, we'll probably find out what other EZAs are going to be happening. So I would at least expect Trunks and Heart Virus Goku, minimum. And then on top of that, we will probably also get the physical 16, 18, because we saw that in the Proton data post that he did. So on top of that, we could also get maybe 1 or 2 others. Anyway, time will tell. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below. In the comments your thoughts on my crazy theories, my ideas for what the Part 2 LR could look like. Do any one of these seem plausible to you? If so, which one do you think probably fits the bill the best? Do you have any other possible ideas or combinations of units that could work for a potential Carnival reversible exchange or just general summon for Part 2? Let me know your ideas, your theories in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you'll do soon when I see more videos. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and ours to Dokkan responsibly.